Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So, after all this time, what do you think of the 2021 regulations? As the FIA have finally released the new regulations for 2021 onwards, and I have got to say it's interesting. They released an image of what the cars will look like, and I gotta say, I do like it. I like the simplified V-shape of the front wing and the scoop-shape rear ring. And if it does lead to closer racing, then it is a positive. We won't know for like a year and a half, and it means next year might suck, as we have to put up with the status quo and Hamilton goes into a new era as a 7-time world champion. But that might be a good time for him to retire. There is no guarantee that Mercedes will be top dogs of the new cars, and he can leave the series on a high that so many rarely get to do. The idea of a budget cap has been bounced around for years, and now has been set at a measly 175 million euros, barely enough for lunch at Lewis Hamilton's new restaurant. But the idea in theory is to make Formula One a more palatable business idea for new teams to be able to come in and be competitive. Because the last time they changed the regulations and 3 teams joined the grid, they were finishing about 3 laps down on average, and all were gone within 5 years. Which is definitely not a good advertisement for future potential teams. And even though Haas have been relatively successful, at least they still exist, even if results have been up and down over the years. Of those original teams, only Manor ever scored points, and even then it was 3 points in 5 years. Apparently Campos is interested in joining the grid for 2021, and there may be others. And that is a good thing, especially if they can stay in the sport for more than 5 minutes. A budget cap can help other independent teams stay in the sport and be more competitive as well, as long as it's enforced and teams like Mercedes and Ferrari don't find ways around it. And hopefully Renault makes a decision to stay in Formula One, something that is not guaranteed. A budget cap must make it a more appealing option as they discuss their plans going forward. There's other things as well. A change to the schedule to reduce the race weekend to 3 days instead of 4. New parc fermé and testing rules to reduce in-season development, closing the pack up. Enforced media appearances, which I don't actually like. Seems a bit mean. If you don't want to do it, why should you have to? If someone came to my work and said, talk to the media or else, I would be pretty mad. All in all, I think the changes look positive and can be developed further to stop Formula One's decline. If the racing is more exciting and more opportunities are presented to drivers who can't get into the top teams, then we'll have so many exciting races with smaller teams actually making their way into the top 3. Even if it's only at some races, if the big teams still dominate, which they might, so be it. I think we need to look at the tracks they go to still, but we'll have to see what the new Vietnam Grand Prix is like. And Zandvoort once again joins the calendar. I'm guessing the circuit has been revamped since 1980, whatever. But it's still nice to see older tracks get on there because they were designed in an era where safety wasn't necessarily the main concern with a track. So even if you have to make them safer, if they've got gravel traps and they produce exciting racing, they deserve a place on the calendar. But if they add any more circuits, then the calendar is going to get very bloated. And I think it works against NASCAR that they have like 34 races a year. I don't think Formula One should go down that alley. Anyway, this was just a short video. I was only having a brief look at the future. So leave your thoughts below and have a good one.